All right, good Sunday morning, everybody. The next one I've got is from Rebecca Dodge. And Ms. Dodge, in a follow-up, let me start. This thread starts where Carlene Smith asked, are we actually going to open? And this is a week or so ago. And I talked about the fact that I don't know. I don't know if we will be open for some type of instruction. But are the schools physically going to be open and are kids going to be coming in the fall? And my response effectively was, I don't know. And we'll see. And we're trying to plan for a whole bunch of different variety of options. And then the governor came out last week and said, we are planning to, in the Secretary of Education, you had to listen very carefully to what they said, because the headline was, schools will be open in the fall. But if you watch the press conference, it was more nuanced than that. What they said was, we are planning to have in-person instruction in the fall. It's super important to the economy. It is super important to kids who have been away from people. And we want to get back to normalcy. But then when there were follow-up questions asked about, well, what about the virus? What if there's a spike and what if there's whatever? The follow-up responses were, well, we plan to be back in the fall depending on what's happening with the virus, which is basically where we were pre-press conference. I think the intent, there's definitely some signaling saying we're going to go do this, and we need to. And we know the strain. I know the strain on the community, on parents not having the childcare, on kids not getting the type of education we need. It's a big deal, and we need to get back if we possibly can get back. But I think that the headlines that came out of that press conference make it sound like, oh, we're coming back, and I think that's. I think the governor is showing a preference, but it is still not totally clear how we're going to pull that off and make sure everybody's safe. And we'll get a ton of work to do this summer. So to answer your question, Ms. Dodge, it depends on the guidelines. You talked about, you said the question was, now that the governor has said that we will be in school, but given almost impossible to meet guidelines, how will we be able to do this? So there's a new document that's about to come out, and it's hopefully going to come out on Monday, this upcoming Monday. It's a combination of school nurses, some school administrators, people working together to talk about a couple different, some different very specific health guidance around school operations. The last CDC guidance we got was pretty restrictive. It was going to make it pretty hard for us to be able to open. But they're talking to breaking this out into two different phases, phase 2 and phase 3. And depending on, and 2 would be more restrictive, and 3 would be less restrictive. And it depends on what's going on with the virus. So we're supposed to be getting a draft of what that might look like Monday, maybe Tuesday. And we're going to start next week. I'm pulling back in all the, as the school ends, I'm pulling back in a whole bunch of people to be like, okay, let's start breaking this down. What does this look like on the ground? Now that we have some more clarity about these two different options, can we start to narrow the field in terms of the number of options we're looking at and what do we need? It's going to involve a lot of ordering of face coverings and equipment and all this other stuff. But we're going to look at all that stuff. So we will remain ultimately in some type of limbo for a little while. And it's going to depend on the summer and what's going on with the virus. And we're going to plan. But one of those plans will include coming back in the fall. And I'd love to say by August 1 or July 15th, I'm going to be able to tell everybody in the community, this is what we're doing. I just don't know if that's where we're going to be. I hope so. I hope that we have clarity by then and I can make an announcement in conjunction with the school board to say, this is the plan. But with so many moving parts, we'll see. I don't want to make that commitment and not be able to hit it. All right. So that's a mumbling, rolling answer to that. Just saying we're not 100% open in the fall based on that press conference. And I think it's important to notice that difference in what they said and what they said in follow-ups. All right. Thanks.